So, I want to begin by telling you guys that love itself is not enough. So, in fact, there are a lot of guys out there that love their girlfriend, that love their wives the most. They're the same kind of guys. They're the same men who get cheated on, who gets broken up with, or end up in a very platonic or sexless marriage or relationship. And you're probably wondering why. Because in reality, love is not enough. Love by itself does not create attraction. And so today I want to talk about why so many good guys, good men out there, they lose the woman they love. So if you're new here, my name is Mitchell. I'm a relationship coach, and you're watching Love is Not Enough. So let's talk about the first one, right? Which is love does not create attraction. Attraction creates the opportunity for love. Now, a woman doesn't stay because you love her. You would think that. She stays because she continues to respect and desire you as a man. So this is probably one of the most difficult truth for a lot of guys to accept because it goes against everything that they were brought up with, right? Especially with all the media that you've been watching, a lot of the movies, everything you hear from your friends. It's like it feels like it goes against it, and you're like, why? And so we've been told that if you're a good man, if you love her enough, if you're patient and you're loyal and you're always there for her, she will eventually value you. So on paper, you are a great man. But attraction doesn't work like that. It works a little bit differently. You can absolutely love a woman with all your heart. Doesn't matter. You can love her with all your heart, and she will still not choose you at the end of the day. And that's not because you're a bad person or a bad man, but because attraction isn't something you could negotiate with. It's something that she has to experience. Now, think about how many men stay in the type of friend zone or this platonic relationship that they have, right? Because why they're either too available, they're supportive, they're caring, right? And then hoping that one day that she'll wake up and realize that, oh, like this was a good guy all along. And yet she still goes for someone else because your feelings don't determine her feelings. So I want you guys to remember that it doesn't matter how much you like her. It only matters how much she likes you. All right? Your feelings don't determine her feelings. So it's not about how much you could care or love her. And one of the biggest mindset shifts a man can make is realizing that dating isn't about convincing her or convincing someone to like you. It's about discovering whether or not the attraction that you guys have together is mutual. And that's why I tell men to stop focusing on how do I get her to like me, and instead ask yourself, how do I become a man who's naturally want other people to be around? Hello. Number two, love without respect eventually falls apart. So here's where relationships usually begin to fall apart. A man falls deeply in love with a woman, and suddenly everything about that relationship, everything revolves around her, revolves around keeping her happy. So he does things like, well, he stops seeing his friends, giving up like certain hobbies, right? Neglects his health, right? Avoids conflict so that he could acquiesce. So it's like, for example, I'm a big Pokemon guy, right? I just opened some Pokemon cards. I'm a big Pokemon guy. And it's like, well, maybe she says, well, guess what? I think Pokemon is for kids and you should probably grow up, Mitchell. And it's like, absolutely not. I will not give up what I love, and that's who I am. I'm a continue to do that. What's up, Bree? What's going on? And it's like, or, give up going to concerts. I remember I was talking to someone and he was like, you know what, this will probably be one of my last concerts because she says that like I'm spending too much time going to concerts. You know what I mean? It's like, I was like, yo, you're stepping into the I'm being a pushover. You got to have a certain backbone in order to kind of stand up and have certain boundaries. Yeah, I was talking to someone like that. Yeah. And so now when you acquiesce and you're like, you know what, I'll stop going to concerts, or, I'll stop buying Pokemon cards, or I'll stop collecting this or whatever because of things you love so that you could make her feel more appreciated. Like that's what from his perspective, he's like, all right, I'll do this because I'm doing this out of love. So I'm being loving. But from her perspective, she's watching like a confident guy that she was attracted to, and it slowly disappears and slowly loses respect. And so a lot of guys, they think that sacrifice, this type of sacrifice, it creates this love. But in reality, most excessive sacrifices actually destroys attraction. And you could kind of see that happen already. It's like, well, when he stopped going to the certain concerts, he's like, oh, naturally, she's gonna be like, well, she's gonna like me a little bit more. And it's further away from the truth. Okay. Now, healthy love isn't about making someone your world. It's about inviting someone into yours that you're proud of. So you got to ask yourself that question, like, are you someone that you're proud of? Now, respect comes from seeing someone who has standards, who has purpose, emotional control, and the courage to say no when necessary. So if a woman, and I've said this many, many times, all right? If a woman loses respect for you, it's almost impossible for attraction to survive, right? Where love goes, where respect goes, love follows. It's all control. And so you got to ask yourself this question. Would she describe you as someone that she respects, or someone she simply knows you will always be there no matter how many times she disrespects you, right? Love without respect turns into an obligation, right? It stops becoming this free choice that you want to be like, hey, you know what? I love you because of who you are, and you're allowing me to love you for how I want to love you. And, it's reciprocated. But instead, it feels more like a chore, like this obligation, like, damn, I got to do this so that she doesn't get mad. Now, respect keeps the attraction alive. So a woman has to respect you in order for her to love you. Right? I think it's going to be a pretty short stream. I got two more, right? Now, stop trying to win her, become a better option. And that's something that I've always talked about too, instead of trying to win her back. And this goes for whether or not you're when you're in a relationship, or maybe she's like, you know what, she unilaterally decided to leave the relationship, and you're like, well, I want her back. The same thing applies. Stop trying to win her back, become a better option. So it always goes back to, well, the main question is, how do you become your most attractive self again? And so now this is where a lot of guys, they get stuck. They believe that dating is about outperforming other guys. Like, oh, I gotta do big grand gestures again. I gotta buy, bouquet of flowers, buy, nicer dinners, more expensive dinners, right? Doing bigger favors, trying harder. But think about it. When someone goes into an interview for a job, they don't beg themselves, they don't beg the other person to hire them. They become qualified enough that multiple companies want them. And so dating works the same way, right? Like your confidence, your health, your communication, your ambition, your purpose, your emotional stability, your leadership. That is what is attractive to her. Not needed. It's a little thing that's matter. And so these are things no other man can fake for a very long period of time, right? There's a lot of people out there that says like, oh, you got to fake it till you make it. To some degree, yeah, I get it. But for the most part, if you don't understand it, try your best to understand it, learn it, and then so that you don't no longer have to fake it. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they stay faking it because that's how they got in. They don't know how to escape that fakeness. And these are things that, like confidence, you can't fake it for a very long time. Once it's ingrained in you, that's who you are as a person. So now, yes, I would say this. A lot of women out there, a lot of beautiful women out there, they receive a lot of attention. And that's where it gets most guys. They get very insecure, especially if they feel like, oh, I got this girl's number, but she's so pretty. There's going to be all these other guys trying to win her over. Like, why would she choose me? And already you kind of shooting yourself in the foot, right? But you just have to remember that just because a woman receives a lot of attention, that attention that she's getting does not mean it's quality attention. So you got to be that one that kind of stands out. And so the mistake a lot of guys make is believing that they have to compete for the attention instead of becoming someone that naturally stands out. And that usually requires a lot of discipline for yourself, whether it's taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, right? Taking care of your health, everything, your finances. You got to get that all locked in. And you got to start somewhere. I get it, but it's a slow progress. And so ironically, the less your happiness depends on getting one specific person, in this case, getting one specific woman, the more attractive you become as a man too. Now, confidence is the number one most attractive thing to a woman. And so confidence isn't pretending that you're the prize all the time. That's where a lot of insecure men, they pretend to be confident because they want to get her. And it might in the beginning, but if you're really confident, if you're that confident man, confidence is knowing that you'll be okay regardless of the outcome. And that's something that she will always respect if you could walk away from that. Now, you're not trying to beat the other man. You're not trying to outperform this other guy. The goal is to become the man that you're proud of. And if you're proud of the person that you are, she will see that too. If not, you could walk away. There will always be another opportunity. Now, lastly, love starts relationships. Character is what keeps them alive. So, remember, I've always talked about how character is destiny. Now, people often say that we still love each other. We're still in this relationship. We love each other. But then there's all these other nuances that you're not sure of. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, how come they look like they had the best relationship, but yet 2 months later, they're broken up or they're single or, there's some sort of complications. And so, yeah, they get divorced. And so you're thinking like, well, how is that possible? Because if you think about it in this sense, if you think about in terms of love itself was not the problem. You could love someone with all your heart. Love was there. Okay. You could care about somebody, be there for them. What the relationship was missing was everything else. It could be trust, right? It could be an and or, right? It could be like trust, communication. There's that respect factor that I was talking about. Similar goals, similar values. Emotional maturity. How well you solve conflicts. Playfulness. And then you got to continue to date. And on top of all that, is there any type of self assessment where there's personal growth on your end? Because if you look at it from this perspective, love is emotional, right? It's how you feel about a person. And you have to remember, it doesn't matter about how you feel about her. It only matters how she feels about you. And if you think about the statistics, about 70 to 75% of all relationships, most or heterosexual relationships, are ended by women, right? And then, it kind of goes down here. I've heard it so many times where a lot of guys, they will be like, oh yeah, we broke up. It's like, no, she probably broke up with you and you say we. Like you didn't say yes to that, but it's okay. I understand that, right? So anyways, love is emotional. But if you think about it from this standpoint, relationship is more behavioral. So it's your actions. It's the things that you do to keep that relationship alive. So it's behavioral. It's your character. Now, every day, you're either investing into the relationship or you're kind of pulling away from that relationship. Kind of like a bank account, right? Are you adding more to it or are you taking it away? Actually, no, that's a bad example. But anyways, many couples, they stop dating each other after they become comfortable. They stop flirting, they stop appreciating each other, they stop growing together. That's one of the biggest downfalls. It's there's no growth. It just feels stagnant, you know? And then years and years and years later, they say that, oh, we fell out of love. It's like, no, no. Like, as a guy, you're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to be the one that leads the relationship. You got to take her out. You got to listen to her. You got to communicate. You got to talk to her. And one of the best advice that I've heard myself was, you know, every week, if you guys don't talk a lot about your feelings, especially if you're the guy and you're watching this, or if you're a woman and you're watching this, you should let him know that this is something that you guys should be able to talk about, which is it's a self-feeling type of audit. Like, how do you feel? What is it that you're feeling right now? Is there anything that's bothering you? Because if there is, that's something that you want to solve right there and then, which is where communication comes in. So anyways, back to falling out of love. Like, oh, we fell out of love, right? They didn't lose that love overnight, right? They slowly stopped doing the things that made love easy to feel. And so for most guys, it's they stop dating and courting. They stop listening to her, making her feel heard and understood. So if you want a relationship that lasts for a long time, whether, you know, it's decades or whatever, you know, don't just ask yourself, well, do I love her? The answer is probably yes. You have to you got to start asking yourself, like, well, am I still giving her reasons to admire me, so that also she still respects me without being a control freak? You know what I mean? Like, a relationship is not about control. It's about being able to let her come and go as she pleases, while you focus on your purpose and mission, and just making sure she feels heard, understood. You continue to date her, you listen to her. Like, it's, yes, it is that simple, but there's more to it, right? Now, if you're watching this and you're single, then you got to ask yourself, am I becoming that kind of man who deserves the relationship I say that I want? Because a lot of people say that they want to be in a great relationship. You know, there's a lot of people that don't take care of themselves, that don't have any type of motivation, that don't want to do anything great for themselves, guys in particular, and they'd be like, yo, I want a supermodel. I want someone like this. Like, I see that it is possible, you know, and they might give me a chance. Like, stuff like that. It does not just fall into your lap. You got to be someone great. And so now, the strongest relationship, they're not built by people who just simply love each other. Love is not enough, right? Which is the purpose of this whole video. They're built by two people who continues to become better versions of themselves while simultaneously choosing each other over and over every single time. That being said, those are the 4 slides. The summary is that love is not enough, but love is important. Love is a necessary, it's like one of the ingredients. It's important because without it, it just feels stale. So love is important, but love itself is not enough. Love alone is not enough to build or sustain a healthy relationship. Relationships are not won by just loving the hardest, right? They're built by two people growing and who continue to choose each other over and over again through their actions. So you got to put out the effort, not just a feel. Otherwise, you just be one of those weird people that just expresses about why life sucks and then do nothing about it. That being said, I hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll catch you on the next live. All right? Take it easy. Have a good day. Bye. Yes, yeah. Bree, it's very short. You know, I wonder if I could crop that end out, but yeah, that's what's going on. I like it shorter, but you know, if people start asking questions, I don't mind answering it. But lately I've been burnt. I've been tired. Not by doing this, but you know, just life overall. I could keep you updated and stuff. But I'm thinking about switching to like Sunday, this around this time, I'm still trying to figure out like the logistics, but you know, for the I don't know how long. I haven't had a break. So 6 days out of the week I'm doing things, right? I'm working. And then the seventh day I'm here. And so I never really get that break. But yeah. And since me, my girlfriend and her son, we got a movie that we gotta watch right now, so we should do a live one of these days. Yeah. How you doing though, Bree? Yeah, I need a rest too. I honestly I think I'm over. Hi family. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. It's not until for another what hour and a half. I would say 2 hours with previews. So, yeah. I'm good for the most. Okay. It sounds like things could be better. this this is why you watch a lot of J Park videos. Divorce is getting there. Oh wait, what do you mean? Hold on, I'll stay for another 5 minutes for this. What's going on? Oh, I see, I see. And this is from your previous one, is that right? Not the one you're currently in. Because so everything can get finalized. Ah, okay, okay. It sounds like a celebration for you, right? And there's like no animosity, like okay, okay. So that it's just one less thing off your shoulder. That's what it sounds like. Okay. But everything else is good. You got your own company. You doing well? I feel like everything is an excuse to throw a shot, to throw it back, you know? There's hello. Oh, I see. Well, I hope everything once it's settled, you know, and you already know what I talked about previously. It's like, you know, if you want to see the kids and whatever, like keep it as easy and simple as possible and less interactions. Like, hey, if you're going to come and get the kids on Monday at this time, you know, like have all the logistics down so that you don't need to talk. You know what I mean? Business is good, but slow at the moment. Yeah. We feel like there's a different pace in this, you know, in 2026. Oh yeah. Thank you. It's pretty it's a pretty simple rule. I don't want anything from it. I just want visitation in custody. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it's as simple as that, right? But you know, there's always you can never predict the other person's approach on how they want to settle things. And they, you know, it's always easy for the other person to just make life a lot harder than it is. It's like, look, it worked out before and now it didn't. And it should be as simple as that. But a lot of, you know, there's a lot of people, they lack that communication. They feel like they're taking stuff away from them. They feel like they got the shorter end of the stick. And it's not particularly about you, right? But like relationships in general, especially if there's like children involved and kids involved and stuff. So now I'm not an expert on that, right? But what I do know is you want to just keep it as peaceful as possible, not just for you two, but most importantly, the kid, right? Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, No more abuse. Yeah. And how's your current one? Everything's good? Oh wow. Okay. Is Marina going? How's she doing? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how possible it is for me. I could barely get time off for myself. I plan to invite her. Okay. Have you seen her a few times, right? Have you ever spoken to JR? She's doing well. Okay. You know what, honestly, I haven't spoken to JR in I don't know how long. Since his move, like there's a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I hope he, like I said, like from time to time he would pop up in my head, and I'm like, yo, I really hope he's doing well, right? I really hope. I just want, yeah, yeah. Anyways, I'm glad you're doing well. Thank you for always stopping by and supporting me and showing you love. Um, I got to get ready. Yeah, I saw a few months ago. I know you see her a lot. It feels like you seen her a lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. So, yeah, Crystal Anderson, you. I feel like she's that. You think she's the person that brings out the animal, that not the animal, but like the party side of you, the animal. Have fun. Tell everyone to say hi. I will. Thank you, Bria. Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay. I'll catch you on the next one. She's chill for now until you throw it back a few shots. All right. Take it easy. Bye.